Hey, this is Taylor from Dawes, and you're watching Kink FM in the Skype live studio.
101.9 KINK in the Skype live studio, Dawes. How are you?
Doing great. Doing real good.
The new album coming out June 2nd.
Yep.
All your favorite bands leads into the most cliche conversation an interviewer can have. What are your favorite bands?
I guess for us, that's always changing. There's
Yeah.
always stuff that we're finding out. Like, I just heard the Waterboys for the first time.
Oh, wow.
And I felt like, oh, man, this is one of my favorite bands I'd never heard.
Right.
And I knew it right away. I only knew one song at that moment. But now I'm getting more and more records, and it still remains true.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, for us, some stuff will come and go. Like, I just got back into the Rolling Stones in a big way that I hadn't for like 10 years or something.
Yeah, that's always a go-to.
Yeah, so certain things come and go. Some things don't. Some things are always around. But and then some stuff that, has nothing to do with the kind of band we are or whatever. Right. But yeah, it's really all over.
How'd
the
you
place
come up
for
with
us.
that title?
There's a song on the record called "All Your Favorite Bands."
Yeah.
And there's and the main line in it is, "And may all your favorite bands stay together."
Oh, nice.
And
so, works out well. So it's been about 3 weeks since I've seen you. So I don't know if you remember, I ran into you on Sunset Boulevard. Yeah.
Right.
I was down in L.A. and I was like, hey, there's Taylor.
Yeah.
So, which leads me into the next thing I wanted to talk to you about, because I want to talk about the new album, but I also want to talk to you about the project, the new Basement Tapes.
Yeah.
Because that was just an incredible thing. Do you know about that project? So how did you get involved with that?
I think I got involved with that by the grace of Marcus Mumford.
Okay, well, that's good
T-Bone
grace.
Burnett. It was his, brainchild and his great idea that he got a hold of those words and like, what are we going to do with this? And I think Marcus was one of the first people he spoke to about it.
Okay.
And Marcus, being the kind guy that he is, was like, you should get my friend Taylor involved too.
Great.
And I don't think T-Bone was aware of me. Oh yeah, he said as much. He wasn't aware of me.
So for those of you, that don't know, and this is always when I played it, because we played your song Kansas City quite a bit,
right?
And it was always kind of difficult to explain this thing in a short way. But they had found some lyrics that Bob Dylan had written when he was 27 that had been sitting in this box since 1967, I think is about when it was. And so they got these lyrics, and so T-Bone Burnett was brought into the project to try to get together musicians and put music to these words. So, and that's where you guys came in. And what was that experience like? Because that's way different than anything you ever.
It was really surreal. I mean, not only is just the nature of the project kind of bizarre,
right,
but also I had never really been around T-Bone Burnett.
Right.
I'd never met Elvis Costello, and he was someone that have been listening to since I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know Rhiannon that well. Jim and Marcus were friends just because we'd all played some shows together. Right. But it was really weird to not only go in and be expected to make a record in 2 weeks, but also do that with people you don't know.
Right.
But that clicked so fast. I think that we all were so excited about being in supporting roles.
Right.
Whenever it was, whenever Elvis would play us a demo, the rest of us were like, all right, what do you want me to do? You want me on keys? You want me on bass? You want me on guitar?
Whatever. Yeah.
And every time it was someone else's song, we would all just get behind them, and it would, and our only concern was making sure to, see through their vision. And so it was, and everyone treated each other with that kind of respect. We recorded so fast. We ended up recording, I think, 50 songs in those 2 weeks.
Wow.
And a lot of them were
there was different
repeats.
versions of the same song.
Because there's only like 24, I think. Yeah. There was only a certain number of lyrics, but then we all, some of us showed up and it's like, hey, I wrote 14 already. Just to like, I mean, we all were just trying to make sure we were prepared.
Yeah.
And so there are some repeats, and that's actually one of my favorite parts about it, is to hear how a lyric can hit a guy like Jim James and then Rhiannon Giddens, and like how different that's going to to end up just because of the way their songwriter brain works.
There's there's a documentary on this too that's just an amazing experience to watch, and it was fun to see behind the scenes because we hear all these songs when they're done, and so we don't always get a glimpse into how that process is. And for me, it's as a music fan, that's always been a fascinating part of the project. So
yeah, totally. That was really fun. Making.
So you'd known Marcus before that.
Yeah, we went out on tour with him. I guess at this point. Yeah, about 2 years ago.
Okay.
We went out with, we did a lot of their stopovers, and then we also opened for some of their headlining shows, and they took us out to Europe with them and stuff.
And so you're coming back in August in Walla Walla.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting thing. The Gentlemen of the Road Tour, you and, let's see, it's Mumford & Sons and Foo Fighters,
cool.
Flaming Lips, Jenny Lewis. Wow. So yeah, you're going out on some of those.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I knew that they're all part of it, but to be honest, I don't know who, because we're doing 4 of them, so I don't know which one's the Foo Fighters one and which one's the Jacket one. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Foo Fighters and also the Flaming Lips are going to be on this one. So yeah,
great.
Walla Walla in August, that'll be fun.
Yeah,
It's onion country. It'll be about 110 degrees
shows.
over there.
Oh really?
Yeah, could be. Yeah,
those
will
are really
be fun.
They Mumford kind of figures out a way to take over the town. So even when Mumford finishes their set, everywhere you go for the rest of the night is affiliated in some way.
Nice.
It's like another local band or something, but it's like still a part of this festival feeling, and there's food everywhere. It's great. It's really amazing.
Fun. Yeah. Well, good luck on the album. Good luck on the tour, and thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate your support.
Thanks.
All right, Dawes in the Skype Live studio.